It's been a few weeks. I apologize to everybody. It's me, Deacon Eric, again, live with our supposed to be weekly live stream, but it's been a couple of weeks. One of those weeks, the wife and I we went on vacation and left town for the week, and so that was that week. And then last week, I think I just had terrible technical difficulties with the computer, and after an hour of frustration, gave up. So my apologies, but we're working today, and we're only 7 minutes late. Yay! So this week, as you can see, we've got Rebekah and Gabby on with us. They're going to recap they're going to share with us their World Youth Day experience when they went to Portugal and other places. You'll have to tell about the other places too. But first, as always, announcements. So I'll go ahead and go over the announcements. Let's see. Check your bulletin for a religious education schedule. That's been an announcement for a while. I would think. Never mind. Moving on. That we're going to have a training class for extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion. That's going to be on Saturday, September 23rd at 10 a.m. If you're interested in being a part of that ministry, please contact Mary Shockley and please attend that training meeting. From what I understand from Miss Mary, we are still shorthanded for the 10:30 Mass. So we need more volunteers, especially if you attend the 10:30 Mass. Not to say that if you attend other Masses, you still can't volunteer. I'm not saying that at all. If you're interested in this ministry, still reach out to Miss Mary Shockley, but just know that we are still short for ministers at the 10:30 so that we can have both species at Mass for communion. So moving on. Let's see. Katie Burns is starting a new Bible study from the book of Acts of the Apostles. Information should be in the bulletin. Let's see. Next baptism class will be on a Thursday, not a Monday, but a Thursday, September 14th at 6:30 at the school. Let's see. Check your bulletin for an upcoming Veterans Retreat registration form. It's going to be at the Texas Retreat Center in Slayton, Texas. The retreat's going to be from September 29th through October 1st. And the registration form has all the details for the retreat. So that should be in next Sunday's bulletin. Let's see here. Also keep Guadalupe Sosa and Francisco Rodriguez in your prayers. They'll be officially installed as lectors on Thursday, September 28th. That's going to take place at the San Miguel Mission in Socorro. So the Archbishop, as part of their diaconate formation, the last 2 years, they'll be, like I said, they'll be officially installed in the Archdiocese as lectors. That's the first one. And then next year, a year from now, they'll be installed as acolytes. And then a year after that, or maybe even less than that, maybe 6 months after that, they will be ordained as deacons. So keep them in your prayers. As someone who knows, the last year or two is probably the hardest in formation. So they'll need your prayers. Let's see. What else we got? Let's see. Sacred Heart Youth Group. It's up and running. It's after the last Mass on Sunday, so it's at 6:15 to 7:30 on Sundays at the gym. It's ages 13 through the 12th grade are welcome and encouraged to attend. And I will stress the word encouraged, because there's not a lot of things that the young people can participate in parish once they've, especially once they've received confirmation. So I would definitely encourage them to stay active in the youth group. And of course, we'll leave it there. All right, moving on. Let's see here. Parish picnic coming up. First Sunday in October. I think not the first Sunday. It's the 8th. The first Sunday would be the 1st. So, yes, it would be the 8th. But that's coming up fast. So, definitely put that on your calendar. The Mass will be at 10:30, and after that will be food and fun of all sorts. I know Miss Everett. Is it Maria Everett or Mariah Everett? I've seen it spelt like Mariah, but I've heard it pronounced as Maria. I'm not sure. She's in charge of everything. So, if you're interested in helping out with that, reach out to her, or she may reach out to you. So keep and I know if we got a parish council meeting pastoral council meeting next Tuesday. So there won't be a live stream next Tuesday because I'll be at that meeting, but there'll be. But the week after that, we'll see if we can get her on, and she'll let us know what we're up to, and what help she might need. So I'll talk to her next week and see if we can get her on the next week. Let's see. Looks like we'll have a visitor, Jacob from Bethlehem, the weekend of September 16th and 17th to sell religious articles after each Mass. I guess they're made in the Holy Land. I guess he will be. He'll speak briefly with us before the final blessing, and then he'll be outside the south exit selling those religious articles from the Holy Land. Please tell me that's all the announcements. Yay! That's all the announcements. All right, now to the heart of the live stream. We've got Rebekah and Gabby with us. I love that. They're here with us, and they're going to tell us about their experiences. They got to go to Portugal, the World Youth Day, and they got to do some other things. But so did you go to Portugal first, or was that towards the end of your trip? Or where'd you go first?
So first we did go to Portugal first. We spent 2 weeks in Portugal.
Wow.
And then 1 week in Rome. And that was super exciting. But we spent a lot of time. We spent the first week was Days of the Diocese. We spent a day getting in. And we spent a day in Cascais, which was a really pretty beach town. And then we went from Cascais to Frescienda, which is a local church in the Diocese of Fatima. And we spent a lot of time there, a week, and we got to mingle with a whole bunch of people. What kind of people were we hanging out with?
We were mixed in with 2 other American groups, a large Korean group, and then
Sweden? The Swedes?
The Swedes.
The Swedes.
The Swedes. Yeah. And then after that, we managed. We hiked up to Fatima, up a hill, a small hill.
They described it as a small hill, but it was very steep.
It was a mountain.
Yeah.
It was a mountain, and it was a 7-mile hike up a mountain.
I suppose when you're from eastern New Mexico, any hill is a tall one. But
it was something else. And after some time in Fatima, we finally made it to Lisbon. Mm-hmm. And that's where actual World Youth Day happened.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So neat. And how many people, do you know how many people attended this year?
I thought it was around 2 million, if not
more. 2 million.
Yeah. 2 million who received communion, but there was, I think, a decent amount of people who did not and who were just there for the ride. Just there.
And you got to meet folks from all over the world, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Everywhere. Literally everywhere.
Was language a hard part? I mean, everybody speaking different languages, or did a lot of people speak English? Or, I mean, you got to meet people from other countries. Did you get a chance to talk with them, communicate with them? Or it was just kind of...
Yeah, I guess it depends. Each country was a little different. I would say, in general, the people of Portugal did pretty good with English, mm-hmm. so we didn't have too much trouble with the locals. But if we're talking about, cross nationalities, there was some struggles, I think. Okay. I think the people of Spain did really good with English. Oh, yeah. France did pretty good with English. A couple of the Italians
Koreans maybe not so much.
They did okay. I think they were just slightly uncomfortable because it's challenging speaking different languages.
Sure. Yeah. And of course, the Pope was there.
Yes. Yeah.
And you got to be right there, hear him, listen to him. Mm-hmm. Now, Now, did he speak in English, or did he speak in his native tongue and they translated? Or, I mean, at the mass, his homily, was it?
So it wasn't his native tongue, but they gave us a radio and they told us which stations to go to for the translators. So
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay,
very
so
convenient.
all right, so
Yeah.
the different countries they had. Wow, that's when you're considering how many people and stuff like that. That's a lot of technology and so neat. So you got to hear it in English, even though it wasn't spoken in English and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So very nice, very nice. Well, it sounds like you really enjoyed yourself.
Of course, yeah. Just, what's not to like?
It's neat to travel when you're young. I tell you what, it's neat. It's good. It's good to see the world too. That sometimes when you're in one place your whole life, you just don't really realize how big of a world it is, and how so many things are the same yet so many things are different, and it's
Yes.
really neat.
Yeah, but I will tell you, as soon as we got back into America, I could just tell. I could just tell.
Knew you were home, huh?
Yeah.
But all in all, a great experience. Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, so each of you, which was your favorite part? Rebecca, what was your favorite part? I mean, the one thing that you're never going to forget for the rest of your life.
Well, it's hard. There's a lot of really awesome parts that happen.
I can give you top three.
Top three. Okay, so number one, when we were in Rome, obviously we got to tour a bunch of the churches, and we got to see the Vatican. So I think that takes number one.
Right.
And then number two, probably, I want to say seeing the Pope, but it was a really hot day. We were outside for like so long.
Oh.
And we were stuck. They didn't really want us leaving. So as much as I enjoyed seeing him in person, I think I enjoyed like a couple of the days before we were just like traveling Portugal and seeing all of the sights and meeting people and going to the local churches, which happen to have like mini relics of awesome saints. And I think that kind of was a bit more relaxing. And then I think my last one, when we were in Rome, my patron saint, Saint Cecilia, it has a church built for her, and everyone else we kind of like all split up to do our own thing, and I managed to take my own little mini pilgrimage
Okay.
from our little hotel to her church, and I walked it, and I got to see where her relics were and everything, and like the famous statue of her, you know what it looks like, she's like lying down with her like throat, so that was super memorable, and I got to see there were sisters there who came up and sang Vespers, which was awesome, very magical. And then it was dark, and I quickly walked back home.
Well, it sounds like a very beautiful experience. Thank you for sharing that. How about you, Gabby? What was your top three right off the top?
My first one would be whenever we were in Rome and we were doing the 7 churches pilgrimage. I can't remember the names, but
A lot of them.
Yeah. And just,
At least like 5 or 6, maybe even 7.
maybe. But I mean, part of that was just because every church had like the same thing. Like you would see the 4 Gospels.
Right. Things that you recognized.
Yeah. But like they were just in different styles. That it was a whole new church whenever you. Well, I mean, obviously there's different churches.
Like the aesthetic, the
Yes.
artwork, the
Yeah.
style, things like that. So that's neat. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Sounds like they were very beautiful. Yeah.
It was breathtaking. My second one is whenever we attended Mass in St. Peter's Basilica.
Oh yeah.
Because there
That
was
was cool.
there was like, it's basically like multiple churches, which I don't know how many chapels they had, but it was like 10 or 15 churches like in one. And so they were having masses all over the place. But I just thought it was really nice that we got to have a mass there in St. Peter's Basilica. And my third one, I'm in between like actual like World Youth Day, the first mass, and Days in the Diocese, just because Days in the Diocese
It was so nice.
It was really nice, and we
Mhm.
had mass every day, and we were able to just like go to Fatima, and
Meet with the local people.
yeah, meet with the local people and eat their food. But like it was
Communal.
Yeah.
People from everywhere too.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
nice.
really nice.
Very awesome. Love it. Those sound great. So you definitely recommend sending another group for the next one then?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
hmm
There you go.
South Korea would be a little hard though, because at least in Portuguese there's
That's
like
right.
some.
It is in Korea next
Yeah.
time. Yes.
Yeah, we
But,
can
you know,
count on
we-
y'all for Spanish,
Yeah.
but like we get to South Korea, it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. South Korea has developed so much in the last couple of decades. Their
Mm.
technology, I think they have like the world's fastest internet, and it's free to everyone.
Wow.
And it's their infrastructure for those type of things is just kind of like Japan was back in the like 70s and 80s. Korea has really taken off with their economy and technology and stuff like that. So they might surprise you. Who knows? I
Yeah.
mean, they might have it all. They'll have it all wired. Who knows? Everybody will have pods or some ear pods, and they
That'd
can
be super cool.
something like that. You know.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
And I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you really enjoyed yourself. I think that's neat. It sounds like. I'm kind of jealous. I didn't get to go. I'm a little too old for World
The
Youth Day,
next
but
one.
maybe I can chaperone the next one. Maybe I can work that out.
Maybe.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap things up. Thanks everybody for watching this week, and like I said, thanks for the ladies for coming. Like I said, next week we'll have a pastoral council meeting. I won't have the stream. Week after that, we'll definitely have somebody. So everybody have a great night.